Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samaa News. Here are today's headlines. Counting is underway in Bangladesh's pivotal national election after tens of millions of people voted for a new government following the 2024 ouster of longtime Premier Sheikh Hasina in a tumultuous Gen Z-driven uprising. Although final figures were not immediately available, the senior secretary of the Election Commission told reporters that nearly half the electorate had voted at 36,031 of the 42,651 polling centres by afternoon. That is more than the entire 42% turnout at the last election in 2024. Russia has pounded Ukraine with drones and ballistic missiles overnight, further battering its energy system and leaving tens of thousands in the capital Kiev and the cities of Dnipro and Odessa without heat, power and water. Mayor Vitaly Klitschko said that in Kiev alone, around 3,500 apartment buildings were without heating after the latest attack knocked out supplies to nearly 2,600 high-rises on top of the 1,100 already affected by previous strikes. Meanwhile, US messenger app WhatsApp has been completely blocked in Russia for failing to comply with local law, suggesting Russians turn to a state-backed national messenger instead. The Kremlin said that due to Meta's unwillingness to comply with Russian law, such a decision was indeed made and implemented, proposing that Russians switch to Max, Russia's state-owned messenger. Critics say Max is a surveillance tool, something the authorities deny. Advisor to Iran's supreme leader, Ali Shamkhani, has said, according to state media, that Iran's missile capabilities are its red line and are not a subject to be negotiated, as Tehran and Washington eye a new round of talks to avert conflict. US and Iranian diplomats held indirect talks last week in Oman, amid a regional naval build-up by the US threatening Iran. Iran has said it is prepared to discuss curbs on its nuclear program in return for the lifting of sanctions. US President Donald Trump has said that after talks with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, they reached no definitive agreement on how to move forward with Iran. But he insisted negotiations with Tehran would continue to see if a deal can be achieved. Netanyahu, who had been expected to press Trump to widen diplomacy with Iran beyond its nuclear program to include limits on its missile arsenal, stressed that Israel's security interests must be taken into account, but offered no sign that the president made the commitments he sought. Sweden says it will deploy Gripen fighter jets to patrol around Iceland and Greenland as part of NATO's new Arctic Sentry mission. The alliance launched the operation to reinforce its presence in the High North amid tensions over Greenland. Stockholm says the move will strengthen deterrence and regional stability. A female teacher has died in southern Thailand's Hat Yai district after a gunman opened fire at a school where she worked. The provincial administration said on social media that a 17-year-old used a firearm stolen from a police officer to shoot the teacher, identified as Sasipat Sinsamosorn, at the Patong Pratan Kiriwat school in Songkhla province's Hat Yai district on Wednesday, before being detained by police. A female student was also shot. Information about her condition has not yet been released. The suspect in a deadly school shooting in Western Canada has been identified as an 18-year-old woman with mental health issues who killed her mother and stepbrother before attacking her former school. But investigators do not offer a motive for one of the worst mass slaughters in Canadian history. Police said the killer, whom police identified as Jesse Van Rootselaar, died by suicide after the shooting on Tuesday in Tumbler Ridge. Police revised the death toll down to 9, including Van Rootselaar, from the initially reported 10. And European Union leaders meeting at an informal retreat in Belgium have stressed the need for cutting energy costs and strengthening the single market to stay competitive against the United States and China. But divisions remain, with France pushing joint borrowing and a Made in Europe strategy. while Germany argues for productivity gains and new trade deals. The summit will test whether the bloc can agree on a common path forward. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching Samaa News.